I once had somebody on another podcast that I host called Let's Connect, and we were talking about this theme of stories and the stories we tell ourselves. And one of the best quotes on that podcast that I ever heard from a guest was, "You are the story you choose to tell yourself." And I thought that was such a powerful statement because it's so true that whatever we're thinking about and the story we're telling ourselves is what's going to become our reality. Like our thoughts become things. So I love this part of mindfulness too, is the awareness of what am I choosing to focus my attention on in this present moment right now? And what is the story that I'm telling? And if this story that I'm telling isn't serving me, like, how can I shift the story? And this practice is so dynamic in this way of like, I mean, I often in workshops when I'm leading mindfulness workshops, will have people tune into like a couple of half finished sentences, like work is, like how would you fill in the blank, or my relationship status is, or money is. And it's really interesting to think that anything that you focus your attention on, like money, work, relationship, I mean, it's just a neutrality, but how you fill in the blank at the end of it is the current story you're telling about it. So if you're saying, my relationship is falling apart, or my relationship status is like, don't even go there, it's not working. That's a choice of a story that we're choosing to tell ourselves. So this idea of like, if I want to shift my story, how do I do that? And I think part of it is like telling a new story, obviously, which can be really challenging because there's a lot of resistance when we start, telling a new story. It's like, no, well, that's not actually the reality or the truth. Like we have to almost abandon what we know and dream into this idea that, well, no, I want to choose to tell a new story. And then I think there's something powerful about also taking it not just in the mind space of like imagining that to be true, but it's also like taking it into our unconscious mind and like feeling that story to be true. Like, well, okay, my relationship status is next to nothing, it's not working out. If I want to shift that to, I'm attracting an incredible partner into my life that meets me where I'm at, and they're committed and they're compatible. Can I close my eyes and feel into that space and even imagine it? It's, even though it might not be right now, like imagining that and feeling that story to be real. I think there's so much to that part of this practice that can be integrated too when navigating through relationship. What's coming up for you,
Yeah.
Bonnie? This is really
Well, just the piece around, and you pointed to it around. We are fabulous storytellers, fabulous, and maybe 10% of them are true. Fabulous storytellers. And what if if you're the director of the film, you write a new screenplay for yourself? Again, what are the movies you're wanting to live in your life, as you were saying? And we actually are the producer of those. We can live in a family with 10 kids. Everyone will have a different screenplay out of that family. They will tell a different story. One might be a horror story, one will be an action story, another one will be a romance, the other one, you pick it. The other one's a comedy. I want to be part of that one. The other one's a comedy. Yeah. Yeah. So it, the beauty in all of that, and where mindfulness weaves in, is we have a choice in the stories that we perpetuate, the stories that we give energy to. We have a choice in that. We have a choice in how we greet others and how we greet ourselves. And we have to be present to do it. And like you were saying, it's not that we don't have goals or intentions. Yeah, of course, of course. And to get there, we have to live here. We have to be here to get there.
yeah.
So let's start with here. And can we do it with as much compassion as possible for ourselves, for others along the way? We are all, and I think every podcast, one of us bring this up, as Ram Dass would say, we are all just walking each other home. It's so true. And sometimes we pick each other up. Sometimes we pick ourselves up. Sometimes we call a friend and say, I'm in the mud. I know, again, same story, different face. I know. And you dust yourself off, you own it, and you say, okay, what did I learn from that? How do I choose to move forward? And it's not discounting how heartbreaking it is and how much it hurts at the time and how emotionally irregulated we can get in the process and all the messiness that comes with heartbreak. And then we can open again.
I
And
love
let's
this.
begin with ourselves. Yeah.